Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We finished the 4th chapter yesterday and we are beginning with chapter 5 today, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. So reading text 1. Arjuna Vacha Sanyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam Jas Shamsasi Yakshreya Etayor Ekam Tanme Bruhi Sunischitam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all, you ask me to renounce work. And then again, you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? In this 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that work in devotional service is better than dry mental speculation. Devotional service is easier than the latter because being transcendental in nature, it frees one from reaction. So what happens is when we are trying to go on the path of knowledge, then we are just using our mind. If we are not listening from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that is transcendental knowledge. But if we are just not going to hear the scriptures, but just with our mind try to understand the Supreme Lord, it's very difficult. But devotional service is easy. Why? Because it's transcendental. It's transcendental. Hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, this is transcendental. Chanting his names is transcendental because Krishna is on the absolute platform. There's no difference between his words, between himself, between his form, between his pastimes. He's absolute, absolute. So devotional service is easier. It's easier, it's transcendental. And because it's transcendental, there are no reactions. Whatever action we do in this material world, we are creating more and more reactions. Even by eating, we are creating so many other reactions because just by the laws of karma are very intricate. And we get bound by these reactions. So that's the reason Krishna is saying you work in Krishna consciousness. Why? So that you don't get bound by the reactions. You can transcend this material world. You can get liberated. So we are in this body. We have to act. How long can we not eat, for example, or how long can we not see, or how long can we not speak, So what to do? So Krishna is saying practically, you just work in Krishna consciousness. Like that, whatever activities you're doing, you won't get a reaction for it. You'll get detached from this material world and you'll be liberated. In the 2nd chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul and its entanglement in the material body were explained. How to get out of this material engagement by Buddhi Yoga or devotional service was also explained therein. In the 3rd chapter, it was explained that a person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. And in the 4th chapter, the Lord told Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. However, at the end of the 4th chapter, the Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. So Krishna begins, he speaks about the soul in the 2nd chapter. He also speaks that how to get out. He also explains how to get out of this material body. Then in the 3rd chapter, Krishna is speaking that one who is in knowledge, he has no duties to perform. Then in 4th chapter, Krishna is giving this transcendental knowledge to Arjuna, how to get this knowledge and what are going to be the results of the knowledge. Then at the end, very end, he's saying, okay, now you do your duty and you fight. So he's saying, because he told that all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. Or Krishna spoke about different types of sacrifices. Then he said, now I've given you this knowledge, now you fight. In being situated in perfect knowledge. So it doesn't mean that once one has perfect knowledge, he has to become inert or inactive, because we are still in the body after all. So the body has we are going to do something we are going to do. As we said, we are going to eat something, we're going to speak something, we are going to think something. So therefore, by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion and inaction in knowledge, Krishna has perplexed Arjuna and confused his determination. So Krishna gave him this transcendental knowledge, and he's telling him that you work in devotion. So now Arjuna is saying, what do I have to do? I'm confused. Arjuna understands that renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kinds of work performed as sense activities. So Arjuna is thinking that if I get knowledge, that means I have to give up all work, because, oh, that means all work is just sense gratification. It's all related to the body. It's all material. This is what Arjuna is understanding knowledge as. So, but if one performs work in devotional service, then how is work stopped? In other words, he thinks that sannyas or renunciation in knowledge should be altogether free from all kinds of activity, because work and renunciation appear to him to be incompatible. So what Arjuna is thinking, oh, if I'm renounced, means if I have knowledge, means I have to stop doing any work. This is what he's thinking. He's thinking that now that if I get knowledge, knowledge means, okay, I have to renounce everything. I can't, I like, there's no activity to be done at all. So for him, he's thinking activity and renunciation, they don't go hand in hand. He's thinking if someone's renounced means they're going to be inactive. That's what he's thinking, that if someone's renounced, one who's gotten knowledge, then he is going to become inactive. So he appears not to have understood that work in full knowledge is non-reactive and is therefore the same as inaction. So because Arjuna was not able to understand that if one works in full knowledge, when one works in full knowledge, there is no reaction, there is no karma involved in that. And so that's why it is inaction. Means we are not going to get bound by the result. There's not going to be any reaction to it. No need to keep on taking further bodies. He inquires, therefore, whether he should cease work altogether or work in full knowledge. So he's thinking, should I stop working at all? What are you saying, Krishna? Do you want me to stop working, or you want me to work in full knowledge? Here he says, he's saying, first you ask me to renounce work, and then you recommend to work with devotion. Now you tell me which of the two is more beneficial. Because Arjuna is thinking, if I get knowledge means I have to renounce work. That's what Arjuna is thinking, that if I get knowledge means I become inactive, means there's no work to do, means all work is sense gratification. So he's asking Krishna, what I have to do? You are telling me work in devotion. You told me give up work. So Krishna is going to clear that doubt. Clear the doubt of how to work. How to work. Because Krishna already told him that if you work in perfect knowledge, when one works in full knowledge, then there is no reaction that is going to be, we are not creating any further karma for it. That's a karma, it's transcendental for that. Because devotional service is on the transcendental platform. It frees one from reaction. It frees one from reaction. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.